Good afternoon. Maui was a blast. So, yeah, I mean, it's like that's really what I'm trying to replicate in my yard. But today, though, I wanted to show you what you really could grow just in a very compact yard. You don't need a whole lot of space in the ground in order to grow these trees. So this video really is kind of in response to some of the questions that I received, one of which is, won't the trees grow big? I mean, in their native climate, these trees can be massive. So why am I planting them so close? I mean, most of my trees are planted within maybe a foot or two apart. So there are several reasons why I do it this way. Number one is going to be, in their climate, yes, they grow big. I mean, that inga back there, yes, it grows big. You're talking 20, 30 feet tall in the Amazon rainforest. However, this is as far from the Amazon rainforest as possible. Though we do have a Amazon distribution center just down the road. That's a different Amazon. But in our climate, in the Central Valley, our climate, the intense heat and more so the cold and the lack of humidity just knocks them down. It keeps them at a nice, compact, respectable size. I mean, that inga right there, I think in reality, I'd be lucky if it reaches maybe 15, 20 feet. But yeah. Same with like the mangoes here, the guavas here. I mean, our climate, the environment keeps them nice and tidy. So that's why I'm able to plant so many of these trees in the ground, just literally next to each other. In fact, my goal is, to have virtually no sunlight if I go underneath in my front yard. So that's my goal. Yeah. So another reason why I've got them so densely planted is the fact that watering. This allows me to basically conserve water because the bubbler system that I've got, because the roots of the nearby trees are so close together, it's able to suck up the water from nearby bubblers. So watering really becomes a non-issue for me. Same with fertilizing, feeding these guys. I mean, it's a very small, narrow space, so it doesn't take me a whole lot to just toss some granule feeding here and there. Same with foliar feeding. So that is why I've got most of my trees planted just a couple of feet apart from each other. Another big reason too is the fact that especially during the winter time, they in some ways the larger trees help to protect the younger ones, as well as the summer. I mean, the larger, taller trees that can take the heat will provide shade to the younger, tender trees. This Keitt Mango is a really good example. If you look at the position, that's east. So as the sun rises, it gets full morning sun up till about 10 o'clock or so. And then it gets it gets all shaded afterwards, which is why you see no sunburn at all. I mean, it's looking awesome. So there is some strategy to it as well. Speaking of strategy, let me show you. So there are, although you probably don't see it, there's a strategy that I've got here when it comes to the location of where I position the trees. Starfruit, along with this younger one back here. So there is a reason why I've got them sandwiched between my property and the neighbor's property. If you come out here, it's actually surprisingly breezy today. However, when you look at the starfruits, because of the property, it's right now it's a bad example, but it is relatively protected from the wind. Starfruits especially, not a big fan of the wind. So yeah, that's why I've got these two planted here. And also because they are sandwiched between my property and the neighbor's house, they don't get a whole lot of sunlight. At most, it gets about maybe 6-7 hours worth of sunlight. And knowing that starfruits are okay with the shade, that's why I've got them back here. But otherwise, for things that need full-day sun, such as guava, I mean, I've got them out here in full-day sun. So that's really why my trees are so densely planted. I mean, look at the two red ladies here, red lady papaya. I would guess that to be maybe a foot apart. So in my front yard alone, which is south facing, which is, if you're in the northern hemisphere, is ideal for growing tropicals because of the sun exposure that you'll get during the winter time. So because this is south facing, many of my tropicals do well here. I mean, phenomenal here. As you can see, I don't protect them at all in the winter time. Summertime, really the only thing that I protect when I see that it's struggling a bit is, if you come here, is I erect a little shade cloth. That literally is the only thing that I do. And that's a newly planted lychee, so that's why I've got the shade cloth there. But beyond that, virtually no protection. I mean, all these trees are left to their own devices. So in the small little section of the yard, I actually have about 31 tropical fruit producing trees in this little section. So rather than me talking some more, I will just let the trees do the talking.